Macomb's mayor says Beef-a-Roo's current owner isn't bankrupt after the location closed, and it's still in the process of working to pay employees. The Macomb restaurant was one of several of the chain's locations to close nationwide, with several local employees claiming they have gone without pay. WGEM News caught up with Mayor Michael Inman after he touched base with the ownership.
The current owner is not bankrupt. They have been continuing to work diligently to make sure that those folks here in Macomb that are still owed back pay from them, are getting squared away to get that to them. They did not give us a timeline when that might happen, but we advocated for our folks that, hey, you owe them some money, you should take care of that.
Inman says for those looking to receive additional assistance, they should contact the Illinois Department of Employment to access resources like unemployment benefits.
Severe disease. What's going on YouTube? It's your boy at Don. Keep it going, Charles. How you feeling? Shit. I thought I'd drop another video because this one's gonna be quite interesting. It's actually crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is something I've been saying for a while in my last videos. If you've been paying attention to my last videos, you would notice the things I've been saying about dying small towns and big and little towns. Just really no hope, no, like no effort to put new things in different towns and small towns, big towns, medium, just everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it. Apparently, so out there in Macomb, where I just recently moved, like I said, I'm gonna get in depth and everything. Me and my girl recently split, for a little bit, for the time being, temporary, due to the high prices and just the hard, the hard, the hard. How do I want to say it? It was difficult finding a job out there. It's not much out there. Even my sister's boyfriend said, like, I was surprised that there's not that many jobs out there. I thought it would be, but it just hit the news, WGEM news, that apparently Beef-a-Roo, I didn't even know this actually happened. That just shows you how much is going on in my world, bro, with bills and stuff like that. I didn't even know Beef-a-Roo shut down. I guess July 2nd. It just hit the news, and it's saying that it officially permanently shut down as of today or something like that. And apparently workers were not getting paid. That is the bullshit I'm talking about. That is exactly what That's exactly what I am talking about, bro. Mind you, I'm not shitting on that town, bro. It's nice, it's decent, but it's the way they do their fucking workers there, bro. Like, they are trash. Like, I'm sorry, but if Illinois don't get that town together, someone's gonna buy that town, bro, and do something with it, and actually put some marketable things out there, actually put stores out there, actually put restaurants out there, actually put a strip mall out there. That WIU college is not gonna. The WIU college is not gonna hold that town together. I'm telling you right now, it took WIU to do different contracts with different colleges, community colleges, just to get more college students there. That happened last year. They did a contract with Black Hawk Community College, Black Hawk, to get more students. That's how down bad they are with students there. And so yeah, WGEM News just did a report. They just did a news break on how you know Beef-a-Roo, and it was crazy because when I was there last year, it used to be like some Mexican restaurant or Hardee's or something like that, or next to Hardee's, something like that. And they changed it to Beef-a-Roo, and I was like, "What the fuck is a Beef-a-Roo?" I thought it was gonna be like steaks and stuff, but it's just your typical Beef-a-Roo menu, whatever. Apparently, Beef-a-Roo wasn't that popular, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's how they think of their people in town, just basic northern country folks. And sometimes that's not the case, bro. People have different taste buds, you know what I'm saying? And it just shows that people are not doing different studies or different, or going out talking to the people, talking to the peoples of the nation to see what they want. And apparently now the mayor is talking about, oh yeah, they can go down to City Hall, see about getting their back pay and this and that. Like, just kind of give them the runaround. How the fuck? How the hell did this happen, bro? They just opened up Beef-a-Roo last year. Now it's shut down, bro. And then on top of that, workers were not getting paid. And now you got a mayor that's giving people the runaround. Oh yeah, just go down to City Hall, see about getting your checks and your see about getting your what's it called? You know, um when you get laid off, fire, or something like that, and then you get paid those checks. See about getting those, and yeah, I think people deserve those. It's like, dude, you're not doing anything to make sure that those people that work there to provide for that town get paid for, bro. That's what I'm talking about, and it's just a shitty supervisor. It's a shitty corporate business that's being ran there. It's just horrible, to think that, like, and they were even once talking about putting up. Now people are talking about they would rather have a Popeyes out there. They got rid of their, they gotten rid of their KFC. They got rid of their KFC, which is I heard was horrible out there. Um, and they were talking about putting a Popeyes out into the college, but the only reason why they might put a Popeyes out there because you got urban white kids and black kids that actually go to that college, but hell, the ratings has dropped so bad they're not putting shit out there. Yeah, they're remodeling a few buildings because some of it's old ran down and they're knocking down old buildings. But how much money can they keep spending? Like I said, like, bro, I knew some shit like this was gonna happen. Um, Yeah, bro, it's crazy as hell, bro. Like, I'm gonna put the video up. It's just crazy to see that this is happening. Like, they were open, like I said, they opened up last year. It was originally supposed to be a taco place, I think, or a burger place, and then they came with this Beef-a-Roo shit, and now all of a sudden this year they're shutting down permanently across nationwide. Apparently, nationwide. The bad thing about that is the workers were getting paid. They're talking about back paying and making making sure that the employees get their the what's it called, bro? God damn it. Yeah, all that, bro. It's sad. And then you got this mayor just like, oh yeah, we just make sure that the employees go down there and get their last paychecks and back pay and this and that. He's like, how the hell was this job running but not paying people? And if you go to Macomb, it's a lot of like junky workers, white workers and shit like that. Not to like talk down on them. You got a few decent workers, but most of them are college kids, and most of them don't even come back, bro. A lot of them drop out of college. A lot of them do stay, cause they do drop out of college. They stay at the job for a long time, but some of them drop out of college, don't come back to that town. A lot of people just hire junkies and shit like that, or you mean to tell me you guys were running a business but not paying your employees, bro? How the fuck do you do that? How, bro? That makes no sense, bro. Like, that is crazy. And you're talking about back pay? Dude, they should have gotten paid out the ass for this. They should have sued or something, but like I said, I know this town, like, that's something that was bound to happen, bro. Like, that town is losing like I said, it's a dying town, bro. That town is dying. Everybody wants to do drugs. Nobody wants to get on their feet. Nobody wants to create a job. I mean, they're doing the best they can to keep the businesses open, up and running. But like I said, I think the Asians are going to buy that town out, bro. I'm telling you right now, bro. They just opened up a fresh chicken spot inside that liquor store with a casino inside of it. And it's got some grocery stuff in there. It's cooked, bro. Them Asians and everything, Indians and Japanese people, they're going to buy that town out. I've marked my words, bro. Mark my words. I'm telling you right now, bro. And like I said, it was on the WGEM news. And I just text my girl. She was like, "They just opened though." I said, "Shit, they just closed now." They just closed, and their workers were not getting paid. That's so fucked up. And and it's like a little quick backstory. Like, just even when I was working through an agency, at through ASI, up there, and they tried their best they could. I'd give them that, but to sit through a week's worth or a couple of days worth of orientation, paid orientation, and that, you know, it was supposed to be added on to my training and all this stuff, and I was supposed to make between $600 and $900, bro. Dude, I was only getting 200-300. They were like lowballing my checks really, really bad, and it was so obvious. So you know what they did? They ended up shutting that whole agency down. Yeah, they ended up shutting that agency down, and it's getting scary out there because, like, if you don't really have a seal or a trade out there, which is barely anything out there, bro, you're done, bro. You're cooked. I guess it's so bad out there. The neighborhood I was living in, there was like at least half the neighborhood was like $18,000 backed up on rent, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. The owners of the owners of the owners of what is it? The owners of the place I was staying at in Macomb. The owner didn't want it. The landlord didn't care for it. He didn't want the property no more. But he had still come over and cut the grass. There would be a lot of people in debt around that whole neighborhood though. But like I said, he didn't want to own that place no more. He didn't register himself as the owner of that place and shit like that. And it got to the point where they actually, at one point last year, they did wipe away our like debt, like $1,000 debt that everybody was in. Cause it's fucking hard out there. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. And it's hard finding a job out there. Meanwhile, you're trying to have a place to live and a car to have to go back and forth to work and pay bills, mind you. But even the owner of the fucking apartment estates didn't want the place no more, bro. He was done, bro. I had a buddy upstairs from me that used to live upstairs. He was a good dude. He was like one of those roughneck guys, but he was super super cool. I give him free weed here and there and some liquor. He'd help me out with certain things and stuff like that. It took him to fix up certain things around the neighborhood. It took him to fix up the apartments. And he's just some dude off the street that he got an apartment up there. Him and his old lady do get into it sometimes, like really bad sometimes, but at the end, he's a man, but he makes rash decisions. That's all I can really say. I can't judge a man on his habits and shit that he does. But he'd like, hey yo Don, I just fixed this, I just painted that, I just put this thing up on the gazelle, he had him and the maintenance guy. They were doing what they can to keep that whole place running. And mind you, the owner didn't even give a fuck about it. He didn't even care. I guess it was to the point where like he didn't care if they were paying him or not. People were just living in there and just paying an electric bill, and that was it. People don't mind you. People were trying to pay their rent, but with it being where it's at in Illinois, and Illinois having high taxes and stuff like that, it's kind of impossible. I mean, you have to have like you got to make a 20, 30, if not $4 hour job, bro. Skilled trade type job or a career. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, like it's so crazy, bro. Like that town is dying bad, bro. That's my backstory. Like I said, worked through an agency. Got into a machine operator job. I was dipping parts for like farmer tractors, car parts, a couple other places. Owned by a Japanese corporation. Uh, Owned by a Japanese organization or corporation, and they weren't paying me shit, bro. Like even before I got hired onto the job there was people there making like $20 and up, and they were still fucking starving, bro. They were starving. They fucking stomach touching their spinal cords, bro. Like their stomach literally touching their backs, bro. And they're making $20 and up, bro. You know, um, and trying to make the money stretch and things of that nature. And I remember supervisors would get into each other, and it got to the point where some supervisors that I kind of liked, what I really thought was cool, that stood their ground against employees or other supervisors, they end up quitting, bro. They end up going to a different place to work at. Um, but a lot of those guys weren't getting paid shit. And that's before I even got hired on. Mind you, I didn't get hired on. I was still working there, like going through my 90-day probation, 100-day per day probation. Now they're making 20 some dollars and up, down bad, starving, stomach touching their backs. Me making $15, but I'm getting lowballed on my checks. 400 if I was lucky, bro. $400 if I was lucky, and that's just to get food, electric, and half the rent, bro. Mind you, rent $720, bro. It's bad, bro. Like, and it's crazy. Like I said, it's crazy. I knew, like, I'm not saying the town is bad. It just fucking sucks there, bro. Um, bro, it's bad. Honestly, it's just one of those things. Like, and none of the supervisors there at these decent, and it's decent jobs. There's just like the supervisors and employees. The supervisors and employees, some of the employees are just assholes, and sometimes the HR don't know what they're doing, or they just don't want to get into it. They will just, figure it out on your own. I have nothing against you, but you have to figure it out. It's just bullshit. But yeah, breaking news, WGEM news. Beef-a-Roo, they shut down the Beef-a-Roo in Macomb and didn't pay their employees while they were running the joint, bro. That is fucking crazy. What do I look like running a bunch of burgers in and outside of a window, flipping fucking dishes, and not getting paid for it? Could you imagine that? Like, that's like slavery, bro. And I'm pretty sure there's a few black people working there. I don't know, but last time I've seen there was only white people working there, so that was like white slavery, bro. You're not paying your workers shit, bro. You didn't give them nothing, not even a quarter. Like, and the guy's just sitting there like the mayor's just like, well, that's just not right. I think they should get paid for it, and the back pay. They deserve their money. If they worked hard with it, they should get it. And da da da. Like, dude, you're the mayor. Put your foot down and do something about it. Make sure those people who work there get paid for it, bro. And I swear to God, this is why like my sister's job's on strike, because of shit like this. But this is in Illinois, bro, and this is at a fucking fast food chain that has now permanently shut down across the nation, nationwide. Literally, it just said on there, bro. That bitch opened up last year. I'm like, they couldn't have put a Popeyes out here. They couldn't have put like some, because we're in Illinois, it's not far from Chicago, in Macomb. They couldn't put some like form of Chicago-like restaurant out there, or Indiana-like restaurants, or Wisconsin-like restaurant, Culver's. They couldn't come up with no idea to put a fucking thing out there, bro. And it's like, what is the Treasury of Commerce, or Chamber of Commerce doing out there? What are they doing? Like, what is City Hall doing? What is the Chamber of Commerce doing? What is the people who pay taxes on that neighborhood? What are they like? How do they feel? Like, what? Like, come on, bro, that's bullshit. And then you're having people wake up every morning to go serve burgers and beef and shit, but you're not giving them beef like quality dollars. You know what I'm saying? You can get all this high quality meat in, but you can't pay your workers money to serve, to cook, to clean the community, for the community. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. It's crazy. What is this? Social Security or employment? Your employment check or some shit like that. Like, there, he was telling people, oh yeah, that I would, if I were them, I would go down and see about getting an employment check and things of that nature. And it's like, what? Like, you mean to tell me you can't step in as a mayor and put money in their pockets, bro? And don't get me wrong, like, there's so many stories working in that town. Like, it's just bad, bro. Like, I mean, if you go to Macomb, bro, you're better off going to college or working in a high-end fast food joint. But the closest high-end fast food joint you might get, honestly, high-end, is either McAllister's or Chipotle. But hell, I even seen the shit how they treat their employees there, and it's garbage. And then like the whole break-ins and stuff, people breaking people's cars and homes and stuff. Like, it's gonna get to the point where people are fed up, and people are getting tired of being robbed, getting tired of getting shoved over. They're gonna start shooting motherfuckers. They're gonna start beating ass, bro. They're gonna start. I'm telling you, bro. I was one of them, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't work hard for no reason just for to get treated like this, and then my job does this. Oh yeah, then you gotta deal with motherfuckers in the street trying to break into your car or your house, and then next thing someone's getting their head blown off or something like that. You know, it's just crazy, bro. Like, like I said, I just sent this to my girl. And all in all, like, it's a dying town, bro. It just proves what I was just saying, like, weeks ago. Like, and it's nothing bad. It kind of is, actually. Because that gives more land for foreigners to buy. And then they move in more people. And it's just like, I hate to say it, but they're always concerned about black people. But the last thing white people should be worried about is black people. Y'all need to worry about these foreigners. How come you guys are not buying this land that you're just giving up for sale, bro? I'm just gonna put it out there, bro. I'm just gonna say it right there, bro. White people, y'all need to figure it the fuck out. Stop blaming niggas for everything. Stop being mad at niggas for everything. Y'all need to figure it the fuck out, because when I was living in Macomb, bro, they had all this fucking land for sale, and all they were doing is building the church and a few other spots, and that's it. And then you got Asians and foreigners buying a bunch of land out there, putting in new businesses and stuff. They're gonna push white people out, bro. I'm telling you, bro. They're gonna push a lot of white people out, bro. That's just how I see it, bro. Macomb's gonna be fucking brown town or foreign town. I'm telling you, bro. And that's not me speaking negative. That's just me speaking fucking facts. You know what I'm saying? Like Tony Reed said, they're gonna get tired of niggas in the fucking sports leagues, bro. What they're gonna do is, once they get all these fucking Eastern Europeans and these fucking Africans and people from South America and all these other places to do sports, they're gonna start paying them motherfuckers and paying them low wages too in sports and shit. Why do you think soccer is the fucking next big thing now? And then you got that football player that's from Nigeria that never played a lick of football. He got drafted to the Philadelphia Eagles, bro. He's never played a lick of football. He got drafted to the Philadelphia Eagles. Mind you, the dude has 6% body fat, and he's built like a fucking Credible Hulk. He's built like 2 Credible Hulks in a tank, bro. In a fucking military tank. He's a whole unit, bro. It takes like 40 people to take this man down. Pay attention, bro. Like, you got a peep game, bro. That's what's gonna happen next, and they're coming for sports next too, bro. I'm telling you, this is why people have been trying to tell black men in these sports industries, y'all need to start. We need to start opening. We need to start our own basketball league before they kick all the niggas out of basketball and football. Start your own league, bro. Ice Cube's already done it. He had the idea. He pushed it. I'm telling y'all, bro, once they get rid of black people and a few white folks, the regular American white people out of these sports, bro, they're going to put none but 4 motherfuckers in here, bro. And I'm not saying that to be an asshole, but you know how Americans get when money run low, bro. They get kind of crazy, bro. I'm telling you, I'm speaking facts, bro. But like I said, this the way that, just like how this mayor did his fucking people or his workers under a food chain, just like how they're going to do the rest of half of America, bro. It's coming, bro. Tony Reed was right. I'm not gonna lie to you. He was right, bro. He was speaking ill facts. Dude was right, bro. There's some shit coming. It ain't the end of the world. It's gonna be the end of America, bro. Shit. And look, and black people for being the fucking not black people, niggas, because niggas is different from black people. It's gonna be a few smart niggas like Charleston White and Pop said, gonna be looking back. They're just gonna be sitting and looking at all these motherfuckers, black folks, white people, all types. They're gonna be told y'all. They're gonna be sitting back looking at everybody. Told y'all dumbass niggas to do this shit. I told y'all. Y'all just did not listen, bro. It's gonna be an invasion, bro. What they do is they wait till shit run low, shit get dried out. Then they bring in more foreigners. They bring in more people. They bring in fucking people from Bosnia because they're getting blown the fuck up. They bring them over here for sports and carpenters because America's running low on carpenters. And if you look at throughout history, if you learn history, a lot of carpenters come from Europe, Africa, and Middle East, and in South America, Central America. A lot of really Europe. The whole idea of how it looks. A lot of them are gonna come from Europe. America's low on carpenters, bro. America, there's a fucking crisis on home estates, building homes or whatever. Nobody's buying the right quality of wood anymore. Buying the right quality of wood, metal, sheet, all that shit. No one's doing that shit no more. But you know what? They know what's gonna happen once the Arabs get a hold of that shit, bro, and start buying land too. All they gotta do is import that shit from their country, bro. And that shit's gonna look nice, bro. Yeah, have you ever seen Persian tiles, bro, on the floor, bro? Wait till they bring that shit to America. We got Persian carpets, but y'all ain't seen no Persian tiles yet, nigga. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, just like and you know how I know I'm right, because even in Chicago, so here in the country, they only know how to work on so many different cars. You go up to north or like Detroit, Chicago, Ohio, where there's a bunch of Arabs, they get shit imported from the UAE, United Arabs Emirates or something like that, Emirates or whatever. The Arabs get their shit imported from their country and bring it to Chicago or bring it to the northern part of America, the north part. Just like Chinatown in Chicago, they get their shit from China or certain parts from the Arabs or certain parts from the Indians. They know how to build this shit, bro, and they get their shit from their own country, bro. It's cooked, dog. I'm trying to tell y'all, this shit is cooked. You know what I'm saying? And I only say that because look at what I'm telling you. They open up this fucking. They open up. Sorry, I don't mean to cuss. My bad. They open up a restaurant, Beef-a-Roo. I don't know why they did that. Stupid shit. They could have opened up any restaurant they wanted to. They could have opened up another Smoothie King, because there's so many damn junkies and drunks in that town, bro. Motherfuckers are unhealthy, but you got a lot of healthy people out there that run the exercise, but there's so much they can be put back in that town. And you know what else is crazy, bro? Well, let me not get off topic first, but they could have put a different restaurant out there that people really would like, especially white folks and black people out there. They could have put something like a new chicken spot or a sub sandwich spot, or some form of spot that Americans like to eat traditionally. You know what I'm saying? But what they did was put a basic ass food chain out there, and people wasted their money, and then eventually people stopped coming, but they were still running the business, but people were getting paid. So I really don't know, like, how the fuck are you running a food chain and you're not paying your employees? Oh wait, here comes the mayor. Well, I think that such and such, such and such, such and such, such and such. Don't just say, nigga. You got these people that's working in your community trying to support the community in every way they can, but out of nowhere, they just tell, okay, guys, we're shutting it down. I'm sorry, no one got paid for the last month and a half, too. Da 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 da. Dude, that is so fucking wicked, bro. That is so I can't like. Trust me, I've been fucked over a couple of times in that town. That's just what working and shit. I can't imagine clocking in every day. Your family could be passing away, and they're telling you have to come in. Mind you, they don't want to tell you that they're shutting down the business and they're not going to pay you, and they're not going to tell you they're not going to pay you, but they'll try to show some form of fashion or they'll fire you. Like, it's just so weird and backwards. I don't get it, bro. But like I said, that little town is a small dying town, and it's gonna take some foreign people to buy that town, bro. Like they did with the Bowers situation. Like that lot that I saw for sale. If you watch one of my videos, there was a lot up there for sale. I said the Asians are gonna buy it, bro. Just like they've been buying all the farmlands here in America. Boy, you should see all, bro. Do your research on Asians in China buying up all the farmlands, bro. They're buying up all the farmlands. They're buying it from white people, bro. They are selling out white people. You know who really, and the only reason why it hasn't hit black farmers, because no one gives black farmers love. No government's gonna give black farmers money. Nobody supports black farmers. So we're always gonna have our shit. That's the thing. Since we were in like the poster agriculture people of the world, we're not targeted as much as white people are going to be targeted, bro. White people are going to be targeted bad by foreigners. I'm telling you, they are targeted bad by foreigners, and they're buying all the white farmer lands, bro. And maybe that's the curse. You know what I'm saying? They stole all this land, and now the Asians are buying it back, and different foreign people are buying it back. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? I don't know. That's just my theory on it. I don't know, but yeah, man. Yeah, WGEM News, bro. I keep thinking of that shit in my head. What is it called? It's you collect the what is it? You collect a unemployment check. That's what it is. That's what it is. He's like, oh yeah, you should go down there and see if you can try to collect your unemployment checks and you give your back pay. Like that shouldn't even be in the same sentence, dude. If I was the mayor, bro, and I heard that shit was going on, okay. So 20,000 for this employer, the 20,000, or at least 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 to this person, this person, this person, that person, this person, this, you know what I'm saying? And then shut the shit down. But you're telling people to, oh yeah, try and see what you can do down City Hall, and you know, put your hand on the Bible, keep the oath to you, and if all works well, good luck. That is some bullshit, bro. But like I said, it's just so crazy because everybody thought Beef-a-Roo was just gonna be this, and that's what they did. They over dried it out, bro. They over dried that whole fucking restaurant out. You know what I'm saying? Really, the only restaurant out there that's really decent is I'm gonna have to go with the couple of Italian restaurants out there. I can't remember the name. There's a couple of Italian spots out there. There's a couple gyro spots out there. I'm from Chicago. I fuck with a couple guys out there that is from Chicago out there. I fuck with them, you know. So we have the same food like culture like thing going on or whatever. You know, so we'll go to the gyro place, we'll go to the sub place, we'll go to a few chicken spots. But other than that, bro, I've never went to Beef-a-Roo because I knew it was shit. I know I did a DoorDash order, and the meat smelled like fucking water, gasoline, or some shit. Like, I don't know, like they just had the gas going too high or some shit, and they just broiled it or whatever the fuck, whatever, you know. I already knew that food chain wasn't gonna last long, bro. One, the way it looked, the idea of it, and all that stuff, and two, just look at the name, bro. It just, first off, I don't eat too much beef because it fucks my teeth up. I eat a lot of pork, anything, you know what I'm saying? That's just me personally. But if it's pulled soft gravy beef or whatever, that's different. Like pulled pot roast beef or whatever, that's different. I can chew on that, bro. Shit's fire as hell, bro. Like your traditional pot roast or beef tips, and it's fall apart. Like, oh my god, that's so fucking fire. Something like that. But if it's just basic, and I don't know, like, and you could tell Macomb doesn't. It's got bougie people out there, but it don't have basic white people out there. That's one thing I learned. It does not have basic white people out. It does to an extent, but as far as taste buds, that's why they went in the shitter, bro. So that's just my take on it. Like I said, bro, they're shutting down nationwide. Ain't no telling what other small town is gonna go through next. What's the future of all these small towns? I don't care if you're in a sundown town. I don't care if you're in an ex sundown town. I don't care if you're in a town I don't care if you're in a town and it was never a sundown town. These small towns are getting hit pretty hard, bro. And the government do not give a fuck. State do not give a fuck. They are gonna starve motherfuckers out, bro. They're gonna starve motherfuckers out. They're gonna keep trying to get rid of jobs out of these small towns and just keep people dumb and wanting to be on assistance and shit. Like, that doesn't make any sense, bro. Like, and then it don't help that it's, before I get off of it don't help that where I was living, like I said, Macomb, this is all happening in Macomb. It don't help that there's other small towns near it. They're shutting down Dollar General. They're shutting down Family Dollar. They're shutting down Dollars. They're shutting down all those places where people work, you know, and you go out further. The farther small towns you go out, it's not that, like, expensive wise. On no man's land, I mean, I wouldn't go out there for obvious reasons when I'm black. I mean, even if it's not a race thing, it's just, I get really bored easy. So I gotta see people. I love seeing people sometimes. Yeah, you're shutting down all these simple places that people can work at to help provide for their family, or just provide a little bit to get food and groceries and tissue and keep gas lights on, keep the electric lights on, keep the water going, and hell, you might work at a little store, you know, a little small local store. You save so much money, you can go travel with friends and family, you know what I'm saying? And it'll shock a lot of people, you know, but they're shutting shit down so much in these different towns, bro. How the fuck are people going to be able to go out and do anything? So as far as work a job, if you can't work a job, make money, you ain't doing shit, bro. And this is why so many people are up and moving. This literally, bro, this is why this fucking country, this is why there's so many people moving from state to state to state to state. If you're moving out of a small town, you're going to a big town. If you're moving out of a big town, you're going to a homestead type home. If you're not even going near, you're going to a city. If you're not going to a big city, you're going to a little city. If you're not going near, you're going to a trailer park. If you're not going to a trailer park, you're going to a bigger, nicer trailer park. Or you might go to a rundown one. You might not even go there. You might go, shit, I don't know, man. I just don't know, bro. I don't know what the future is, but what they did to those people there, bro, is pretty fucked up. I'm not gonna lie, honestly. It's pretty fucked up what they did, bro. And the mayor could do better, bro. But when you put somebody in charge who don't care about the well-being of the people and the business, how business is ran, and it's all for money grabs, you're gonna get a lot of bullshit, bro. And then at that, you're gonna get a lot of people who's gonna leave that town, bro, or they're preparing for something weird, or probably gonna prepare for a big old exodus. A lot of people are leaving small towns, and a lot of people are leaving that small town too, for sure. I'm telling you that right now. Like when I was packing my shit and I was moving, bro. Even before I was doing all that, people were just moving in and out, in and out, in and out. People were just really moving out. I had a buddy of mine, like I said, upstairs. He was even talking about at least going to the next county over, or saying, fuck it, I'm going to Tennessee. You got a lot of people who are going back downstate. You got a lot of people who are going back down west, east, and north, bro. But yeah, man, it's just sad, bro. And my condolences to the people out there who worked at that place. Um, didn't get paid, didn't get compensated, or they get their unemployment checks way before this shit even happened. They just shut down on y'all. Man, shout out to the real ones out there that's holding this shit down, bro. Because they didn't have to stay until that store closed just to wait to get a check, bro. And if they even get a check, you know what I'm saying? The fact that y'all didn't pay these employers while the shit was hitting the fan is crazy to me, bro. And the fact that y'all wasted so much money to open up a food chain that's closing down nationwide, especially in a small town that doesn't already have shit, that is crazy, dog. So hopefully they come up with something new, something better, because that town needs some money in its pockets, bro. Um, maybe them Freemasons need to get together and do some shit, because that town is looking treacherous, bro. And when my pockets run dry, it ain't no shit to do out there, you know what I'm saying? But crime and shit like that. But shit, that's how police make money, so I don't know. But yeah, that's just my take on it, you know what I'm saying? Um, just the people that worked at that place, man, just keep your head up. Just try and go get your unemployment while you can, man, or start looking for another job, because in the next so and so months or so, it's supposed to be bad, as far as the weather and climate change and the jobs and stuff. So just keep your head up, keep praying, and man, sorry for the folks out there who got fucked over, bro. This your boy Don. Keep it going, Charles. Hey, just like I said, just keep it going. That's all you can do. Love you guys. Thank you.